We all know Journey to the West, right? The Monkey King, the pig, their epic quest for sacred scriptures. But today, we're going to dive into a real moment of crisis, a chapter where the group's strongest protector is gone, and an unsung hero is forced to step out of the shadows. This is a side of the journey you might not know.
So picture this. The pilgrims are on their perilous journey, but there's a huge problem. Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, has been exiled. He's been kicked out of the group. And without their heavy hitter, they are, well, just sitting ducks. And, well, of course, what happens next? Trouble comes knocking. Their master, the monk, Tripitaka, gets captured by a fearsome demon. And the other disciples, Zhu Bajie and Wuqing, they're completely falling apart, totally lost without their senior brother to lead the charge. So you get the picture, right? The team is shattered. Their master's a prisoner, and their best fighter is gone. The situation looks absolutely hopeless. Which leads us to the big question for this whole story. With the heroes out of the picture, who could possibly step up and save the day? Well, the answer comes from probably the last place you'd ever expect. It's not the bumbling Zhu Bajie or the quiet Wuqing. Nope, it's their ride, the white dragon horse. Yeah, the guy who's usually just, transportation. But in this moment of crisis, he decides he's got to do something. And this is where it gets really clever. The dragon knows he can't just win with brute force, so he cooks up this brilliant, kind of sneaky three-step plan. It's all based on deception and a lightning-fast surprise attack. He's going to try to outsmart the demon. Okay, so the dragon, now disguised as a beautiful maiden, saunters up to the demon, and he says this, acting all coy and innocent. The demon, completely unsuspecting, is immediately charmed by the offer. Then the dragon plays his next card. He complains that he can't possibly dance without a prop, and this just shows you how arrogant the demon is. He casually hands over his own sword for this maiden to use in her dance. The trap is perfectly set. The second that sword is in his hand, the act is over. He doesn't dance, he lunges, aiming a swift and sudden strike at the completely surprised demon. But this demon is no pushover. Even though he's caught off guard, his reflexes are sharp. He grabs the nearest object, a candlestick, and actually manages to parry the attack. And just like that, a fierce battle erupts right there in the palace. The fight is furious, but let's be real, it's not an even match. After just 8 or 9 rounds, you can see the dragon is starting to lose steam. He's courageous, for sure, but he's just not as powerful as the demon. He's overpowered, badly injured, and the white dragon has no choice but to retreat. He makes a desperate escape, diving into the palace moat just to save his own skin. The gambit has failed. Meanwhile, where's Zhu Bajie during all this? He's just waking up from one of his classic naps. He sees everyone is gone, starts to panic, and rushes back to the stables, only to find the white dragon horse collapsed and looking like he's near death. Bajie sees this mess, and being Bajie, he immediately jumps to the wrong conclusion. He starts muttering to himself that some villain must have taken the master and beaten up their ride. He has no idea what actually went down. And then everything changes. As Bajie is talking to himself, a voice calls out to him. It's the horse. For the very first time on this whole journey, the white dragon speaks, and Bajie is absolutely terrified. The dragon quickly explains everything: his transformation, the failed attack, the master's terrible situation. He says there's only one hope left. He begs Bajie, "You have to go find our senior brother, Sun Wukong, and bring him back." And this is where the story pivots. The focus is now on our cowardly Zhu Bajie, who's just been handed a mission he desperately wants to avoid. So here's the standoff. On one side, you have the dragon, pleading for the master's life, saying they have no other choice. On the other side, Bajie is flat out refusing. And why? Because it was Bajie's complaints that got Sun Wukong kicked out in the first place. Bajie is terrified. He's convinced that the moment he shows his face, the famously short-tempered Monkey King is going to give him the beating of a lifetime for his past treachery. And honestly, he's probably not wrong. But the dragon, even in his weakened state, is still thinking ahead. He gives Bajie some brilliant advice. He says, look, don't mention the demon. Don't even say you need his help. Just tell him the master misses him. The dragon knows that for all his pride, the Monkey King has a real soft spot for their master. Armed with this new plan, Bajie, still shaking in his boots, finally agrees. He knows the master's life is on the line. Summoning his courage,
He leaps onto a cloud and begins the long flight back to Huaguo Mountain, the home of the Monkey King. And that's where we leave it. The fate of the master now rests on the shoulders of this cowardly pig who has to convince a proud and furious monkey to forgive him and come back. So what do you think? After being so publicly humiliated and kicked out, is Sun Wukong really going to swallow his pride to save the master who abandoned him?